of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
And he did call. And he called and we talked about Allaah, you know, and well, mainly I did all the talking, you know. He was, you know, I was like, when I get to going, I get to going. And I had all these, you know, giving him all these scenarios about the Muslim community, the masjid, because I had took my children to the masjid, and these two brothers got up and was going to fight about who was going to be, man, I had a whole bunch of drama. So I did a lot of talking, you know, and he did a lot of listening and what have you, you know. And let's see, I met him July 24th. I always try to make sure I get this story right. This was on a Thursday. See how good I am? All these years I still remember. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 5 days later, he asked me to marry him. And I thought then, I said, okay. I said, okay. I looked at that man, I said, okay. Is he serious? I said, oh Allah, is he serious or he trying to play me? But I mean, every time we talked, everything about him was serious, you know. And sure, I said, sure, I'll marry you. He was like, okay. He said, well, when you want to get married? I said, hey, you're a police officer. We can get married Saturday. He was like, Saturday? He almost fell down my stairs. And I said, yeah. Now, I took that opportunity to try to see, was he serious? And I said, yeah, Saturday. He's like, Saturday? Okay. And I married him, and I'm not going to lie, we have had a journey. But it's been great. I thank Ahezaah much. I mean, everybody has ups and downs in relationship, but Ahezaah has always been our foundation. Has always been our foundation. And it's been great. I mean, I've grown tremendously. You know, he's taken the time out to give me so much to go with, you know, without trying to capture me. You know, a lot of times people get in a relationship and people become possessive of each other, but that's never been him. He's never possessed me. He's always given me the freedom to be right or to be wrong. The beautiful thing about that is that he's always have come to me and say, okay, I see you want to do it like this. Just look at it, take your time and look at it like this. You know, and he's always put Allah there. He's never put himself before Allah. And in that I have grown tremendously. You know, I mean, we spent many days and nights, you know, well, I did the reading, he did the explaining, and what have you, because he had a library of crates, I would say, milk crates. He probably took them from somewhere he wasn't supposed to, full of books. And, you know, and he explained so much to me. And when Allah said that, you know, over the years, as years went by and Allah chose to raise him up as his prophet, you know, I could see Allah doing it. As I could say that I don't know truly what an angel would be like, but he has human qualities like anybody else. If you cut him, he'll bleed. If you wrong him, he'll curse you. You know, he still believed he still have one great fight left in him. But his level of sacrifice, his level of love, his level of commitment, is one that being in his company, you can't deny that Allah is not with him. You know, nothing comes before Ahezaah. Nothing. Not me, not his children, not his sibling, his parents, nothing. He puts nothing equal to Ahezaah. Nothing. And that do not mean he's void, he's without pain. That's not true. He has pains and suffering over things just like anybody else. But when it comes to Allah, there's no second guessing. There's no maybe, if, this. It's all Allah. You know, it's all about Allah. You know, and to a lot of people that have been blessed to be in his company, can't get to that reality, can't get to that real. That one could be so with Allah that they see nothing other than Allah. You know, when we look out at things, we look at it in one sense. When Holy Apostle look at things, he look at things from Allah's eyes. You know, and I've told him several times over the years is that I could never, ever be you. You know, truly I could be him if that's what Allah chose for me. But Allah chose that for him. You know, and Allah is all wise in choosing his messengers and prophets and what have you. Allah knows best. You know, there's things that he has had to do that I just couldn't see. There's things he had to do that I couldn't understand. You know, but his level of love and commitment, I could never say have not been there. That is stronger than a foundation. It's amazing. You know, it's amazing. Anytime I doubt, I look at him and I'm full of a lot of hope. A lot of, how can I say, I can get myself together. and keep stepping, because it's just amazing to see how Allah can take an individual and work through that individual to give its love and its message to humanity. You know, and the message is not always one of comfort. You know, there's many a times my heart been on the table beating by itself. You know, but it's been good. You know, that's why I say about trying to accept what Allah does do to you. You know, and it's been good. You know, even when I haven't been in a situation where I couldn't accept it, it's been good because Allah caused me to accept it in time. You know, I know that over the years, Holy Apostle used to say to me, Rabia, you have to be patient. You have to be patient, be steadfast. And I used to say, that's easy for you. You're enlightened. You're with Allah, this, that, and the other. I pray that Allah forgive me for all those statements, because Allah make anything easy, can make anything hard. But you cannot weigh yourself by somebody else. You know, you can't. Deen has a lot of patience when Allah give him that to have. And sometimes he has no patience when Allah give him that as well. But it's such a blessing and a mercy to see him as an example and say, wow, he did it. You know, he made it. You know, a lot of times people can't accept him because they don't see him in the state that they're in. You know what I'm saying? But if you sit and you're in the company of him, and you hear all the things he went through to get to Allah, it gives you hope that you too can get to Allah. You know, and believe you me, I used to curse him many a days and nights for saying, be patient, trust Allah, have faith. I used to just want to just jump on his neck and just choke the living daylights out of him. You know, but I thank Allah for those words that it gave him to give to me. You know, I thank Allah for being patient with me. And letting me exist and patient until Allah changed things. And sometimes that patience didn't exist, and I thank Allah for still holding on to me when that patience wasn't there. You know, Deen has helped. Holy Apostle, I say Deen, I got to get with everybody else, but Holy Apostle has been a sacrifice for a sacrifice for so many people, and so many people has lost along the way. You know, I had made a statement to him one day this week, and and he said some things. It was really hurtful, but when I walked away and I thought about what he said, I said, wow, he said, you never stopped giving me. You know, I could have held on to it in a negative way, but I walked away and I thought about it. And said, wow, Ahezaah, you never stop giving me. Not only do Ahezaah keep giving me, but it also makes a way for me to have time to try to get things right, you know, and that's a blessing, you know. But sometimes, you know, you take the bitter with the sweet, but I know that those who are truly seeking Allah, and realize that they are in that womb, will be able to continue being in the company of the Holy Apostle and keep going forward, because he's definitely a treasure for us here on this plane. You know, someone that comes with a clear message, that gives it to us when Allah allowed him to give it to us plain, and sometimes Allah calls him to give it to us not so clear, because we're not looking for the clear way, you know. I know that, you know, the human mind is something else. I know that I was reading Quran, and I love the story of Moses. That's one of my favorite prophet stories there is. Oh my Lord. We have watched Moses so much, I think my kids can sit up there and watch it and say the lines verbatim. That's our thing. I mean, I don't think there was a time period in my household where maybe a week went by where we didn't watch Moses. If I didn't watch it, my kids did. And I think about Moses a lot, you know, and Moses' people, and because of what Ahezaah has raised Holy Apostle up and the people around him. And this week I was reading Quran about Moses and the people, and when Allah told them to go slaughter the cow. And it makes me think about our spiritual family. When I was reading, I just bust out laughing inside myself, like, wow. Ahezaah, the faces change, but the scenario is still the same. You know, people are so disobedient when it comes to doing what Ahezaah called them to do. That thing made me laugh. It made me think about my spiritual family, like Moses told his people to go kill the cow, and they come back to Moses. Moses, pray to our Lord, what color? Pray to the Lord, he or she. Pray to the Lord. Oh, they asked Moses to pray 1,000 times. You know, that's a little exaggeration, but they kept asking, and I know Allah was like, these sick individuals, you know, hard-headed, rebellious people, you know, that's how they, you know, took the calf for worship. People is very hard-headed. And Holy Apostle has experienced that in this room. I mean, so many people come to Holy Apostle. Holy Apostle, I want the truth. Help me, this, that, and the other. They give them the truth, and they be like, well, Holy Apostle, well, I really want this for my family. Well, I really want to do this. But I really want to serve Allah, you know. believe you me, that serving the Lord is always last. You know, but people hate to be honest with themselves. They have to say serve the Lord so they can make that important. So it makes the path difficult for them. So then they start hanging out with Holy Apostle, and the Lord start getting them, and then they looking at Holy Apostle, you know, because you didn't, you know, you ain't co-signed on what I told you I really wanted. Now you're the cause and the effect of all this evil that's happening to me, you know, which is not true. You know, if you choose other than the Lord, then you're going to get what you got coming. You just got to remember that when it start coming. And, you know, so I know that, and a Lord knows Holy Apostle has caught hell with me being his wife, you know, and Allah just has caused him to endure. And I said to myself, if I was him, I don't think I would be married to me. You understand what I'm saying? But when Allah chooses you, Allah is so merciful. Allah just don't choose you and say, okay, get it right today, I'm going to kick you out. At least Allah hasn't manifested that to me. But it's such a disgrace, and I feel ashamed that I would go about creating all this disorder to want for really no good cause other than I think that I am the one, you know, that my ego has caused me to raise myself above Allah, you know, and I said that, you know, if anything in prayer, we should be praising Allah and constantly asking Allah to forgive us. Not only when we go to that 5-time prayer, but all the time we should just ask Allah to forgive us, because we always out of order. Whether we realize it or not, we always out of order. You know, and it's just a mercy from Allah that it just don't destroy us. You know, Allah is so kind, and I can tell you about Allah's kindness and manifest His kind and love to us in so many ways. But I know that Allah in this circle have manifested His love and kindness to us, not only in so many ways, but through the Holy Apostle as well. Is that me? Truly, a Holy Apostle comes with the purest love that a human being can give to another human being. You know, and that love is from Allah. So I, you know, believe that if anything, when we go to pray to Allah, we should thank Allah for forgiving us. Just constantly thank Allah for forgiving us. Because truly, I don't believe that I'm doing anything. You know, it's only a fool that think they do anything. Without Allah, I don't exist. So what am I doing? Truly. I can't see me being rightly do anything. But I can see Allah being rightly do all. It's the same way that, you know, if you have a good parent, you don't see that your parent owes you, but you turn around and see that you have a debt that you can never pay to your parent. But that debt is truly with Allah, because Allah caused that parent to sacrifice and do right by you. So that debt is truly due to Allah. But when you think in terms on the worldly level about your parent that may have been good to you, you always feel that you could never repay your parents. At least I don't think I could repay mine. And trust and believe, my parents wasn't like what I would consider top shelf parents, but they was excellent parents for me, because that's what the Lord gave me, you know. And out of that, I honor them, you know. I honor them, and my honoring them is truly honoring Allah, because Allah could have made things different, you know. And even if Allah made things different, I still, all praises is due to Allah, you know. But when I say that, is to say that if you feel that you're in debt to your parent, then you have to see that you have a bigger debt to Allah. You know, and seek to try to give yourself to Allah in this cause, and just, that you may be right with Allah. Try not to hold back on giving yourself for the cause of Allah. We have young people that's willing to go to the military and everything, that's willing to die for a country. And, to each his own. Me personally, I wouldn't want to go die for this country. I don't feel like I'm in debt to this country. Anything on a worldly sense, I would feel that this country kind of owes me back child support, because I know I got Caucasian in me. They owe me for free labor that my ancestors gave. They owe me for pain and suffering that my ancestors endured, that trickled down into my DNA as well, that I have to endure. So I couldn't see me going to die for this country. Me personally. Not that I want them to deport me and put me anywhere else. I love this country. Hey, this is home. If you ain't never lived nowhere else, how can you say you don't like where you live? I love this country. I'm not ready to go to Africa. I don't know what part of Africa I'm from. I don't know what part of the United States my Caucasian great-grandfather was from. I don't know, I know where the Indians in my family was from, but I'm just saying that I'm not ready to die for this country. But I know that when it comes to my children, if they're right with Allah, I'm ready to die for my children. I know that I'm ready to die for my husband. So I know that I'm ready to die for the cause of Allah. That's just a matter of putting things in perspective. See, Allah give us all. If we're not ready to die for Allah's cause, then we shouldn't be ready to die for no cause. Because without Allah, what happens? We don't exist. We're not being sustained, maintained, or anything without Allah. So, this country is built up on lies and deception. I really look at the United States as being a big bully, but that's just my personal opinion. But I look at Allah as really being the protector. I don't care how many people come over here and drop a bomb on this country. If Allah don't want me to get hit by one, I'm not hit. Allah is the true protector. So, it's a matter of the way you look at things, which takes you further on this path or take you away, But the path is not difficult. You're difficult. It ain't the path. It's you as an individual. All these voices within yourself that you take up time. That's the thing about the Quran. The Holy Quran is beautiful. People read the Quran and they try to put themselves back 1,700 years ago. Whew, you missing so much. All you have to do is open that Quran, know that Allah is talking to you, establish that. Once you start reading it, know that Allah is talking to you. Don't worry. A lot of people say, yeah, Allah is talking about them kafir. No, Allah is talking about that kafir in you. Allah was talking about them Jews, that Jew in you, that Christian in you. Allah ain't talking about, don't take it outside of what it is. Allah is talking to you. If you take it as a personal conversation coming from Allah, then it won't even matter all that other jick and jive they don't try to put in there. Because if you look at it as a personal conversation from Allah to you, then Allah all that stuff ain't even going to move you. Them words going to become alive. You're going to be able to relate them words to you. And once you do that, man, you either go back further away or go closer. I pick up the Quran and I be like, whoa, wow. It's like, wow, that Allah, the Lord of all the worlds, would take its time to relate to me. Not by somebody mass producing a book. Not by that. See, when you open the book, it becomes alive. it's in print. But once you start reading them words, if Allah so will, it becomes alive. It's like Allah is all living. Them words is alive. Allah is so alive. If we could just realize that Allah is so alive. You know, everybody want to put Allah up here. Oh, Lord. Oh, no, Allah said that it is closer to you than your jugular vein. So if Allah is closer to you than your jugular vein, then it is alive within you. You know, and when Allah so wills, it becomes so alive, and it causes you to recognize that it is alive within you. It's a part of you, that part that you stay away from, you know, and it takes you on such a high. You know, people, trust me, drugs can't touch this. Can't touch it. Trust, I know what I'm talking about. Drugs can't touch this. It is so real, and it's the most beautiful experience that you can have. It's so beautiful that when it's over, you're trying to run back to it. You know, you're absolutely trying to run back to it. But just imagine, Holy Apostle lived in that all the time. He don't have no periods where it breaks down for him. That's the high that he lives on all the time. And in that, I'm jealous. You know, and that's the, you know, in truth, you always want to take what you perceive to be good, but you don't want the other part. Like I said, I couldn't be him. And that, I could see that. You know? And that other thing, I can't see that. You know, see how we are? You know, we never ready to really take the package. You know, it's only because Allah bless Holy Apostle to take the package that he can enjoy that which I only get to enjoy now and then. You know, so I can't be jealous. It's on me. You understand what I'm saying? It's on you as an individual, where you go or where you stay. You know, how high you go, how low you fall. You know, because Allah said that I'm telling you, Allah is so beautiful. Allah said that if you take a step towards it, one step, it didn't ask you to take many. It said if you take a step towards it, it will take many towards you. So, you understand what I'm saying? So, it ain't like Allah is making it difficult for you. But see, what we got to understand is that sincere step. So a lot of people say, I fed that man last night. That was my step. I gave up $10 I didn't want to give up. That was my no. See, that's the beauty of Allah. Allah knows you in ways you know not. So a lot of people are like, I took a step towards Allah. The Lord ain't take many towards. You ain't take that step. You still holding out. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what that step is? That step is that sincerity of wanting to take the step. And who knows what sincerity is? That's something that you have to go to Ahezaah for, so that you can know what it is, so you can take that step. Surely Ahezaah is awesome. Ahezaah is awesome. I can only tell you that I can't show you it in the way that you need to experience it. That's the whole thing is, I could tell you about it. It's like me being an artist and I could draw you a beautiful picture of it. But unless you become the artist, you really can't see the beauty in that picture. The deep beauty in the picture. You only see the surface beauty. You know, that's where people see their houses, their cars, their money, their dogs, their cat. That's that surface. See, Allah is so far beyond that stuff. They only see surface things, you know. You got to become the artist in order to see the beauty, the true beauty of it. You know, so I could paint 1,000 pictures up for you, and you may go a whole lifetime and not be able to see what all these caused me to see. But You know, if you one who's sincerely seeking Ahezaah, surely Ahezaah, nothing escapes Ahezaah. Ahezaah hears all. You just have to be patient. A lot of times we think that Ahezaah don't hear us. Ahezaah hear us. But we say, hey, I told you last week, Allah. You know, of course we ain't going to say it in that way because then we will feel like we being disrespectful. But it ain't on your terms, it's on the law terms. You just got to be patient, steadfast, and sincere. And Ahezaah would definitely deliver you. Well, I was giving my 1 minute warning. Hopefully you enjoyed this hour show with me. Holy-Apostle should be coming to do his other hour. And may Ahezaah peace and other blessings be within and about your presence.
Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed?